some of the Indian sportspersons, especially from Arunachal Pradesh, who are being denied entry into the 19th Asian Games. And in response to those media queries and some Indian sportspersons being denied that entry, now the official spokesperson of the MEA, Mr. Arindam Bagchi, has said that the government of India has learnt that the Chinese authorities have, in a targeted and premeditated manner, discriminated against some of the Indian sportspersons from the state of Arunachal Pradesh by denying them accreditation and entry to the 19th Asian Games in Hangzhou in China. In line with our long-standing and consistent position, India firmly rejects differential treatment of Indian citizens on the basis of domicile or ethnicity. This is the statement by the MEA. Further goes on to claim that Arunachal Pradesh was, is and will always remain an integral and inalienable part of the country. Remember, there's been a strong protest that's been lodged in New Delhi and Beijing against China's deliberate and selective obstruction of some of our sportspersons from going to the Asian Games by denying them a cred. China's action violates both the spirit of the Asian Games and the rules governing their conduct, which explicitly prohibits discrimination against the competitors from member states. Siddhant, my colleague, continues to be with us. Siddhant, I pretty much read out what the MEA response is on this entire controversy that's now playing out. This time it's China at the forefront of the controversy yet again. After stapled visa, we are now seeing no accreditation for the Asian Games for sportspersons who are coming in from Arunachal Pradesh. Is there going to be a response from Beijing?
That's right. So MEA has strongly reacted to the accreditation not being given to 3 female players from Arunachal Pradesh. And also, interestingly, the point that I would like to highlight for our viewers is in this MEA release, Ministry of External Affairs release, it is mentioned that Minister of Information and Broadcasting and Youth Affairs and Sports of India has cancelled his scheduled visit to China for the Games. Government of India reserved the right to take suitable measure to safeguard our interests. So the Minister of Information, Broadcasting and Youth Affairs, Anurag Thakur, he was supposed to go to attend the games. He has cancelled his visit because of this behavior shown by China. So since last, maybe from 2009, if I'm not mistaken, China has been doing this by issuing stapled visa to people from the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And perhaps not just stapled visa, at times China comes out with a map giving names to places in Arunachal Pradesh, because it is a long-standing demand or claim of China that Arunachal Pradesh belongs to them. In July, same 3 players were given stapled visa. At that point in time also, Government of India reacted very strongly, and I remember the entire team was stopped to take a flight to China during World International Games. This time around again, since it's Asiad, so there was no visa requirement. All what is required is the accreditation. So the accreditation was supposed to be given by the authorities. Now, 2 of the players did not get the accreditation. One other player from Arunachal Pradesh got the accreditation, but when she reached airport and at the immigration, when the accreditation was scanned, there was no information inside and she had to return. So, you know, this, because of these Chinese, this particular stapled visa and visa discrimination that China has been practicing against the people of India, 3 players were denied participation in July, and they have again been denied participation because this time around there was no information found in the accreditation which was given to them by China. And this is the reason that a very strong statement is coming from Ministry of External Affairs, and in a line with our long-standing and consistent position, India firmly rejects differential treatment of Indian citizens on the basis of domicile or ethnicity. Arunachal Pradesh was, is and will always remain an integral and inalienable part of India. So this is the standard position of Indian government. But this time, the minister's visit to China has been cancelled because of this particular issue.
Also, Siddhant, you know, what happens to the players who always end up becoming collateral damage, especially if they are coming in from Arunachal Pradesh, because there needs to be some sort of an end goal. Of course, this is a very strong statement that's been released by the Ministry of External Affairs by India, but we'd like to understand if at all there is going to be a final entry that is going to be given to the players who will and who have all this year waited and practiced for them to be able to participate in the Asian Games.
That's right. So I spoke to Mr. Bhupendra Bajwa this morning. He's the coach of the team. So the other team members are already in China. Hangzhou, they have already reached the venue. Perhaps they were preparing for the march past this morning when I spoke to them. They did not divulge detail. They did not share much details. They told us that we should speak to the relevant authorities, and after which only we spoke to MEA and we were confirmed that yes, this has happened. Also, in July also we have reported. In fact, in July, while doing this story, we spoke to the female player from Arunachal Pradesh, and she was really she was disappointed, and she said that we have been preparing for these games from last 1 year. And
Yes.
we were excited because it's an opportunity. It's a global platform, and since China is the host, it is up to the host to give warm welcome. But instead of giving warm welcome to the players from Arunachal Pradesh, what China is doing is issuing stapled visa. What China is doing is issuing accreditation, but accreditation which doesn't have information inside. And ultimately player had to return from the airport because there was no information found. So, Indian government time and again, perhaps after Prime Minister Modi coming to power since 2014, has been taking a very strong positions when it comes to the issue of visa discrimination or the issue of stapled visa with China or perhaps with any other country across the world. Back to you.
Right. Let me also bring in Abhishek Jha, who is with us on the broadcast. Abhishek, this point that Siddhant was making earlier, how the sports minister, the union sports minister, has now refrained from visiting China for the Asian Games. Strong statements like this, considering what has been seen in the past vis-a-vis games in China, where these players, especially from Arunachal Pradesh, have had to bear the brunt, whether it is staple visa or now accreditation without any information, so that the players are left in a lurch. Why should this